and welcome to Violet Light Tarot. And we're doing today the energy forecast, as it were, for the dates of May 25 to May 31. And we're using 9 decks today. We've got 3 tarot decks. If you watched the video that was uploaded yesterday, you'll notice that I noted that I have 3 decks that I always use. These are them. And these are the other Oracle decks that I currently have as well. I am not today using either of the Kim Kranz decks. I still haven't opened the animal one. Don't worry. That unboxing will, again, as I said, be a true unboxing. That will be in front of everybody's eyes as it happens. That'll actually be taped. I will record that tomorrow. And but for right now, I wanted to just kind of get in the groove of doing an actual reading for everybody. So sit back, relax. Let's do some actual shuffling on camera as well, which I know everybody seems to enjoy. I've heard that a lot on varying channels that I've viewed, and sort of as opposed to having piles already set up, which, I mean, it can be okay as well. But there's some kind of, I don't know if it's necessarily an authenticity to it, but just something that's more enjoyable to having the deck sort of done on hand, as it were. So I hope this finds everybody in a good space, not just a good place, but a good space emotionally and mentally, as well as physically. Hope everyone's doing well and getting ready for things are opening up, aren't they? As I went to the store yesterday, and it was crazy. Just the concept of everybody actually getting back into the stores was an interesting endeavor. The changes they've made, the sort of new normal, as it were. So let's do this over the table, because if they're going to fly, I want them to not go 7 feet across the floor. Okay. Okay, you are my choice, because you are the one that's causing most of the kerfuffle there. Awesome word, you gotta love it, right? Kerfuffle. I think I haven't used that word actually out loud, at least in several years. You bring out the best in me, guys. Okay, so I am kind of doing this sideways to you, just because of the way my layout is, and the way I've got my camera set up. I don't, if I were to do it sort of where the camera is in front of me, I wouldn't be able to have the setup that I have, first of all, and also the way the tripod is, etc. Versus the setup is not currently conducive to anything other than the sideways view we've got here. It does mean that you get to see the underside of the decks, though, I think, a little bit. That's okay. So the end of May, we are currently at the 25th. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I think, at least where I am in Canada, all of the... Oh, we got 2 for that one. All of the sort of lockdowns, as they call them, and that to me sounds very negative, but all of the sort of quarantines, which doesn't sound any better, but at least not as negative, all that took place, I think, March, right? The end of March. We've all been sort of hanging out by ourselves or in our little family communities for almost 10 weeks now. So I'm hoping everybody's doing well with that. And I know this is going to be seen like all over the world, and varying countries have varying rules, etc. Some were in that kind of state of isolation months before that. So again, how are you guys doing, especially with the extended version of what we've been going through? Okay. Just let me know in a comment below. Whoop. See, that's what I was talking about. Floor surfing. There we go, we got 2 for that one. And just wanting to find out how everybody is. Just give us a comment. Give us a hey, what's up sort of thing. You know. What's been, you know what, actually, here's a question for everybody. See if anybody wants to answer this one in the comments. What's been your favorite part of this quarantine? I know everybody always has their, oh, it's been so difficult because all the stores are closed, all this is happening, you know, and please do not in any way mistake my current word choices and phrasing to mean anything other than what I'm popularly hearing. I realize this is in fact a pandemic. This is in fact a world health crisis. People are getting sick. People are passing away from this. But it doesn't seem to be what most people are concerned with necessarily, unfortunately. That really you know, I don't want to judge anybody for their thought choices or anything. That's not my place. Actually, not anybody's place. But just sort of what's something that you've sort of enjoyed being able to do? Is it getting a book read that you wanted to read? Is it finally starting a garden if you happen to have a house? Is it, you know, actually getting to know the people that you live with if you happen to be lucky enough to actually be in quarantine with other people? Is it maybe you've learned a new recipe to cook if you're into cooking? That's kind of sorry, that might have been a bit loud. Whatever it is that you've had the chance to either rediscover or learn anew, that would be amazing to find out. I know theoretically I'm supposed to be waiting for them to fall out on their own. Sometimes that doesn't always happen, as you're noticing. It's sometimes I get lucky and 1 or 2 of them will actually like literally jump out like this, the shadow exec. Usually, you know, it's gonna not do it because I just said that, but usually at least 1 will come out on its own. See, like I said. Ladies, this is not the day to get performance anxiety. Okay. Come on. Okay. Executive decision. There we go. This doesn't change the fact that these are shuffled in front of you. This doesn't change the fact that these are cards, if you will, divined to be chosen for this particular reading. The divining doesn't necessarily have to be a flip out like a card falling on the table or on the floor. It can just be, this is the card that's chosen from the deck. I've seen people, sometimes if you're in person doing them, readers will fan out the deck and let you actually pull one out. Like, I'm pulling that one out for whatever reason. Or they'll just cut the cards. I'll show you that one actually with the next. Actually, my last deck. Only last because I'm grabbing it last, not for any reason other than that. Love my Moonology deck. And my other ones. No favorites here. But what they'll do sometimes is they will also... Sorry, I just want to make sure it's shuffled. 5. Okay. they'll cut the deck somewhere, and they'll just take whatever this one is. I think, who is it? I'm gonna get her name wrong, but I will put it in as like typed in over top just in case I do get it wrong. But I think it's Secret Shaman Oracle is the name she goes by. She does that on her channel. What she'll do is she'll cut them in half, and then she'll just like take the first one to however many she gets sort of the feeling to do, and she'll just grab that many, and she'll do the same thing with another deck. That's kind of her, I guess, way of doing things. Okay, so we do have reversals for the tarots, which is fine, but I don't read reversals in oracles. For the most part, I go with whatever the books dictate as far as how the card should be read in and what their intention is. So in the oracle decks that I have, I think only one of the decks actually has the ability to do reversals, but I kind of went, okay, if it's only one out of the 6 of you, maybe we should just go ahead and keep going, as it were, with sort of a rule straight across the board, as it were. Let's see. So we're gonna pull through and actually just turn them all over for you, and then see where we're at with whatever the message happens to be. So we've got the King of Swords in reverse. We've got the Fool upright. The Tower in reverse. Okay. You're intriguing me, people. You're intriguing me. And the Hermit in reverse. You know what? I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. Okay. And you did see me shuffle, so what this is coming out as, from what I can tell already, this is pretty accurate. Okay. Okay. So we have protection. And underneath, I'm going to read it because I don't know if the camera will pick up the fine print. You, your loved ones, and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. If anybody is triggered by these in any way, I know that some people are not pro certain terms. Please take the term as you will. So if in certain forms, and I know the energy deck will mention archangels, spirits, source, divine masculine, divine feminine, ancestors, the messages are intended to all be the same. It's just a matter of where they're coming from, like where sort of it's all coming from the same thing as far as I've always thought. Please have your own opinion, obviously, absolutely. But for me, I prefer the omnist approach, in that the message is what's important. The sort of counsel, or the I guess the message would be the kind of the best one. The message is the most important thing, not necessarily what deity, group, association, entity, 5D, what have you, where it actually comes from in that respect. It literally is what's being said. And this other one from this particular deck is the Divine Magic, and it's extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. Everybody likes miracles. And again, another term, miracles could be just manifestations. Everybody is really into manifestations. When I say everybody, I shouldn't say everybody. But a lot of people are into the entire idea of manifestations and wanting to manifest things. And actually, I just put a post up on my Instagram. The link is in the description and the credits list at the beginning and end of the videos. That basically talks about how to manifest. And the fact that the universe in that I was using a quote from a poster that I got from a group on Facebook. And it was basically the idea that manifesting is what the universe wants. The universe wants to provide you with what you want. They want to make you happy. They want to make you as fulfilled in this life as you possibly can be. They just need guidance from you as to what would make that happen best. And so the Moonology deck, we have the energy is gaining momentum. This is their waxing moon card. And this is the energy deck. And in this one we have caring connections, which doesn't matter who you are, everybody needs those. Not just right now, all the time. And creating heaven on earth, and it's happening. So again, heaven on earth, whatever you classify as heaven. So whatever, it can be sort of paradise, it can be Valhalla, it can be, whatever your ideal situation and existence would be, I think is the concept of what heaven actually is supposed to be. And, this is interesting, we have forbidden. Yeah. And last, but of course not least, we have persuasion, and that's, I'm going to mispronounce this, Uzumi. Yeah, please correct me. Anybody who can, Uzumi. One moment, please, people. Sorry, I'm just going to pause you for a sec. Oh, my apologies, I'm sorry. I don't like to do that, but I just had to cough, and I would prefer to do it sort of in a paused mode as opposed to into your ear. Okay, so what we have here is... Okay, so I'm going to go through the top, just the tarot cards first. So we've got the King of Swords in reverse. So the King of Swords is mastery of communication. It's mastery and fast-moving communication. Swords, I think, are the fastest of the deck, of the suits. Apologize. And so it's someone who knows. The King of Swords normally is someone who knows their words, speaks their mind, articulate, intelligent. Basically pick the most brilliant person you can think of, and that would be like the epitome of that. In reverse, it doesn't mean it's the opposite. It's not saying it's literally the fool. The opposite just means that that's stagnant for some reason. For some reason, your ability to speak this week or to communicate what you're desiring, what you're wishing, what you want is stunted in some way. It could be that you're maybe, because everything is opening up, because everybody is starting to go out and be themselves again, all of a sudden I want everything. So when somebody says, so what do you want to do today? And everybody knows this one, it's like, I don't know, what do you want to do, right? So basically what it is your ability to communicate is a little bit off from its normal setting right now. The Fool card is the beginning of something. It's the grand beginning of something. So this is a new chapter in life. This is a new, and it really is. This is why I said, you saw me shuffle. This isn't just like, oh, I've already picked these. But yeah, this is a new chapter of life coming for you too. It's not just the grand world view. It's an actual individual thing as well. So this could, yes, you're allowed to go out, hopefully, now. Yes, you still have to wear a mask. Yes, you still have to do, hand washing and sanitizing, etc. But there's something new coming in for you. It's a new life of some type, a new chapter, a new something or other. And what that is we've got the Tower in reverse, and we also have the Hermit in reverse. Well, the Hermit in reverse is self-explanatory. It's everybody's leaving. They're going outside. They're not stuck inside. They're not doing their internal work anymore. Please continue to do internal work, though. You should always be doing that. But you've done it, okay? The internal work right now, it can be shut down a little bit, It's time to actually get out and go and do. Go and be, Yes, the communication is a little bit stunted because you're so excited that you have so much to do that you're just like, yay, let's do everything. Your tower moment, it's a tower moment in reverse, because instead of being like when everything happened and everybody went into lockdown and quarantine, and I'm trying not to use trigger words, but they kind of have become colloquial. The idea is that was the tower moment. That was when everything kind of changed for everyone. A reverse tower is, okay, now we're coming out of that. This is the other side of it. So here we have, say you're where I am, or I think where everybody is, it was kind of a January through March kind of thing. This was your January through March. You had your tower moment of all this stuff is happening. People are getting sick. Horrible things are happening. People are scared. Everyone's going into hermit mode. They're all hiding out. Now, we're coming out of that, and we're going out. Again, please be very, very smart about how you do this. So, you do have protection. You are protected at this time. There's divine magic at work. So you got magical energies are surrounding you. So again, miracles are happening for you. Miracles, I mean, right now, to me, being alive is enough of a miracle right now. Considering all you've heard on the news for months now is so many more people are sick this morning. So many more people have passed away as of this morning. So literally, to be alive right now, I would take that as your miracle. This is you. This is you being protected and being here to be able to enjoy this new, being able to go outside and being able to start your new chapter. You're protected in the fact that you have made it this far. And by this far, I mean you're still going. Don't worry. But that to me alone is a miracle in and of itself. To still be here and to still wake up is awesome. The energy is gaining momentum, so things are opening up again. Like I said, in Canada, actually in varying provinces, we have varying degrees of when things are opening. Stages, I think they're doing them in different stages. So that's your momentum. So it's gaining momentum. So you're starting off with a little bit here, a little bit here. You know, grocery stores are having longer hours. Bookstores are suddenly open. Gardening supply centers. I mean, it's spring anyway, so there you go. But everything is opening up for everybody. So the momentum is kicking in. Things are happening, progressing. We're moving away from the tower. We're moving away from the hermit mode. Communication will come in. Don't worry. Your ability to communicate in person, and everybody's going to be doing this. I was actually talking to somebody earlier today about this over text, not in person, over text. And we were talking about how when people get in touch with each other in person now, with everybody being so locked away, we're all going to be so excited to see each other that everybody's going to be talking a mile a minute. Everybody's going to be so excited to just be able to speak to someone else. It's going to be a fascinating time just to be able to actually be sociable with people. 6 feet or whatever your rule is in your area, apart, of course, but still, I mean, you can still talk. You can still converse with somebody at that distance. Caring connections. I'd like to say that you should be having those remotely throughout this entire time. I'm hoping that you've had people that you've been able to keep in touch with, whether it's by phone, text, messages, Zoom, FaceTime, any of those kind of things. Just people that you can converse with that way. Even just going out on your balcony and hollering across the way to a neighbor, or, that kind of thing. or out on your front porch hollering to the people across the street, hey, how's it going, kind of thing, that kind of deal. Hopefully you've had some connections with people, but now being able to have that caring connection intensify. Because again, I don't know what it is. It's being able to, even though we're not able to physically come in contact with people yet, just being physically in the same space as someone, it has an effect on us. It's like it's going to be like an endorphin. It's going to be the same as running on a treadmill or playing your favorite video game or whatever. It's going to give you that mini little high just to be able to have that in-person connection, even from that distance apart. The creating heaven on earth and it's happening. I mean, that can be taken in varying ways. It can be taken in, a lot of people were speaking, especially in the past month, with all the talk of, I think it was San Francisco had foxes out in the on the beach, etc., and just nature coming out and being of itself and sort of not taking back the planet, as it were. It hasn't. There's definitely not been enough time for that kind of thing to happen. But heaven on earth is actually being able to take what you've learned from your time from this isolation, taking all the shadow work you may have been able to do, all of the meditating, the new practices, the new self that you've culminated, and bringing that out to the world and meeting someone else's new self who's also a little bit higher vibe, maybe, from all of the time in meditation and thought, and just that higher level all around the planet, and just being and having that. I mean, that literally is what's happening, and that would actually be a really awesome kind of version of heaven for everybody, no matter what if heaven's a word that you want to use or not. But that would be, well, basically a place that I would want to live in, and I hope you would too. Somewhere where, it's going to take you a little bit of time before people start, and hopefully, I mean, I know that sometimes it's wishful thinking to think this way, and I do have kind of sometimes a unicorns and rainbows view of things, but I'm hoping that it's going to take a little bit of time before we start getting into the old way, as it were, the traffic jams and the people cutting each other off and being upset that a line is too long. And I mean, just being happy with being outside, being happy with being alive, being happy with just being. That's what we're working on right now. That's what I'm hoping everybody's been working on. Now, we do have this forbidden card. There is a forbidden door, as it were, because that is a doorway, and it's a locked door. What I'm reading what I'm reading that as is that we've got all of this new, okay, all of this new chapter in life, new life, not new chapter, new life. We're coming out of something globally horrible, which, I mean, I'm in no delusion that we're out of it completely, but coming out even just a little bit of it. We're coming out of our hermit modes. We're understanding that we're still alive. We're embracing that we're still alive. We're becoming better people for and to each other, I'm hoping, again. We have that new earth view, that new earth, that new way of being in our varying locations. The forbidden locked door, I'd like to think that what this is depicting is actually the past. Excuse me, I'm just going to cough one more time, so I'm just going to pause again. Sorry, my apologies again. But yeah, I'd like to think that is a locked door forbidding going back to the way things were. Going back to basically what got us to the point of having to be in these quarantines, what got us to the point of having to have that tarot moment, have that hermit mode. Granted, we've all come out of it hopefully better with higher vibes and calmer, but I like to see us keep that. I like to think that this forbidden is forbidding a return to our old ways. Like let's progress with this new, like a new normal, if normal is a good word for everybody, but something that keeps us in this newness, that keeps this new chapter, that keeps us away from the tower moment that started it all. That keeps us away from the kind of sort of day-to-day life that we have all sort of come away from, have come out of. That should be what would be, sorry, that was my fingernail hitting the table. The forbidden door should be going back to a lower vibration, going back to a lower self that we shouldn't be vibing with anymore. And the persuasion, it should be, I don't know Izumi as a goddess, but I think the persuasion should be a persuasion of persuading ourselves and each other to have this new, to keep the new and to be the new. Yeah, I like that actually. Be the new. That's kind of cool. On that, I think I will stop because you can't get better than that. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a wonderful week. Please come back and tell me how well your week went. Please leave a comment and let me know how you're enjoying your time, what you're looking forward to, what you've learned during this, and yeah. Also give us suggestions for future readings if you have any questions or any topics you want to explore. All of the links are in the description as well. We have links for Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. I forgot to mention the Pinterest one the other day. We have Pinterest as well. And also the store. We're currently active for purchase written personal readings, video readings, which would be this kind of setup, but to you specifically. And you can actually request a specific question to be answered as well. That's actually detailed in the purchase request. And also I'm offering Zoom platform. Anybody who knows that one? It's for one-on-one video conferencing, and that would be same thing, video, but it'll be a live. We'll actually have a set appointment time, and in that I do ask for purchasing those. Please let me know what your local time zone is, because we got to work together. I'm in Eastern time in Canada, and so I know people are watching this from Australia and Europe and other parts, the States, of course. But yeah, so any of those are available at this time, and the links for everything is in the description. Please like, please subscribe. Don't forget that notification button. We look forward to hearing from you and seeing you again. Have a great day.